This week on The Cone, we're going to talk about how to walk into the store and pick the absolute best dog food for your dog. Let's get into it.
And now, the vet who only eats wet food, Dr. Andy Roark.
There is an endless number of dog foods out there, and every year literally hundreds of brands come into the market. They're everywhere. So how in the world do you walk into a store, pick the food that's best for your pet, and then walk out? Here's 5 things you need to know. Vet recommendations are a great starting point. I know, you're like, ooh, big surprise. The vet says that you should ask a vet. Just bear with me, okay? We're talking about someone who thinks about pet health all day long. And there's one question you should ask your own veterinarian, and it's this: what do you feed to your dog? That's a great starting point, and it's super simple. You would think that if there's a dog food on the shelf, it obviously has all the nutrients that your dog needs. That's not true. It's mind-blowing. But there are dog foods out there right now that are not complete and balanced. They do not have everything that your dog needs. One of the big examples I see a lot now is there's all meat diets. They're just all meat. That's not everything that your dog needs. If you're considering a food, make sure to check it for a nutritional adequacy statement. It's sometimes called an AAFCO statement. This is the most important piece of information on the pet food label. It tells you that the diet is complete and balanced and has all the nutrition that your dog needs for his or her given life stage. There are different statements for different kinds of dogs and different life stages. Your healthy adult dog will have a maintenance statement on his or her food. A puppy will have a growth statement that lets you know that it has all the nutrients that he or she needs to grow and develop. There are now statements specifically for large breed puppies or dogs that will end up being 70 pounds when they are fully grown. It's important to check your food and make sure that it has what your pet needs for where they are in life. There are also foods with statements for gestation, lactation, and growth. These are foods that can be fed to breeding dogs while pregnant, they can be fed while nursing pups, and they can be fed to the pups once they're weaned. Lastly, you may see a nutritional statement that says all life stages. That means this food is formulated to meet the requirements at the strictest life stage, which is growth. So this food has everything that growing puppies need, and everybody else can fall in. There are some exceptions. Veterinary diets for specific medical conditions like kidney disease may have statements for intermittent or supplemental feeding. Diets for kidney disease in dogs have lower levels of phosphorus than what you would want in a normal, healthy dog. This is on purpose, and it's to help slow the progression of this specific disease. Ultimately, your dog's daily diet should consist of 90%, at least 90% of the calories coming from a complete and balanced diet. That's typically a canned food, a dry food, or a mixture of the two. The other 10% of calories are wiggle room for things like treats, just as long as your pet doesn't have a medical condition that prevents having treats. If I want my dog to be in great shape, I need to make sure she's getting enough calories, but not too many. That sounds super simple, but if you ever had a dog who loves to eat, you know that it can be challenging. We need to pick a dog food that has the right energy density for your dog. If you have a dog who loves to eat, think of like a pug or a schnauzer or a Labrador, you want to feed a lower energy density food so that she can eat more of it without gaining weight. For dogs that are constantly hungry, I want to feed a dog food that is 400 calories or kcals or less per cup of dog food. If I have a dog that's not all that hungry, it doesn't really matter nearly as much. If you want to know how many calories your dog should be getting in a day, we can work that out. It's not super simple though, because dog breeds and lifestyles vary so much. Still, there's a way that we can do it. check out the Pet Nutrition Alliance calorie calculator at this link and go through the process. I'll put it down in the discussion below as well. If you were wondering if a dog food company is legit or if they're just using good marketing to sell crappy food, you can call them. You can find their phone number on the website or on the bag of food itself. If you want to know what to ask when you call, there's a great list of questions to ask and why you would ask them at this link right here. That's a really long link, so I'm just going to put a direct link for you down in the description below. So it's there. The last thing to know is that your dog is unique. Just because your neighbor's dog does great on a food, it doesn't mean that your dog is going to do great on it. You may have to try it for a little while, see how things go. Also, make sure your dog is on the right food for any medical conditions he or she might have. Obviously, work with your vet on this and follow up so they can assess and make sure the diet's working for you the way it should. If your dog is on a weight loss diet, we want to start seeing weight loss in about 2 weeks. If your dog is on a skin or hair coat diet, we're going to see changes in probably about 4 to 8 weeks if the underlying problems are being addressed. Lastly, if your dog is on a dental diet, this is an ongoing thing where we're not going to see probably dental conditions improve. We're just going to see a lack of tartar buildup over the long term. So sometimes we just have to give a diet some time and see if it's the right one for your best friend. And that's our show. Guys, this was a deep episode. There's a lot of information here, but I wanted to put it out there so you have the best information to know what to feed to your dog. Guys, if you think this would help anyone that you know, please share the video. Always, we love it when you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've got any questions, things you'd like to see on a future episode, hit us up in the comments down below. Take care, and until next time, let's be the people that our dogs deserve.